My son, as stated, he was targeted, clearly targeted.
That's the mother of a 14-year-old seen in this video recorded in the restroom at Verdugo Hills High School in August. Over and over, you can hear one student encourage the beating with the N-word. His mother, who did not disclose her name, claims she met with the school days later.
They didn't care. They didn't do nothing to the other kids.
Instead, according to her, the school offered to transfer her son to another school. Months later, a second incident, also caught on video in December. Here, fists fly, and the boy is swung to the ground by his backpack. Again, lots of comments using the N-word. From a different cell phone, you can hear someone yell, "He's got a knife." The attorneys claim the boy fled the school and was chased by a group in a car. One person had a butcher knife. Ultimately, there was a stabbing that led to a school shutdown. 2 students needed medical attention, and the 14-year-old was arrested.
He shouldn't have been charged, but here he's facing 245 PC charges, assault with a deadly weapon. Why is this young man facing assault with a deadly weapon charge when he merely defended himself?
His other attorney suggests there's reason to accuse the school and district of ignoring the racism against the few black students at Verdugo Hills.
They get targeted repeatedly with threats, with violence, and with racial slurs. The N-word is tagged on the wall by their house.
What's up, y'all? So, how many times do we hear about these racial incidents at schools where black kids are being targeted, at these predominantly white schools? You see, far too often, you hear about these things happening, and you have adult teachers that witness these things, and there's no intervention. You see, these white teachers, they see the bullying happening, and they turn a blind eye to it because they're racist. You see, they're racist, and they allow these racist students, to call your child the N-word. They see, a group of kids going into a restroom. They understand, that this is a confrontation that's about to unfold. But do they go in and stop it? No, they allow it. They allow it to happen because these teachers are racist. You see, these are your Trump supporters. These are your white Christian, Trump supporters. You see, I said it. That's what this is. And your principals, 9 times out of 10, they racist and they Trump supporters. And they go to church on Sundays. You see. So the parent reports this, to the principal of the school, to the school district, and nothing is being done, to prevent these things from happening. I think we ought to start going after these school districts. We ought to start suing these school districts when these things happen and you report it as a parent and they don't act on it. We need to start hitting them where the money is, in their pocketbook. Every time you report, your student being called the N-word, or there's incidents of bullying, racial bullying, let's start suing these school districts. But what do y'all think? Is it okay, to send your kids to these schools, that's predominantly white? Your kid is the only kid in the classroom. You see, the video, go back and watch the video. They said there's only 4 of the black kids in the whole school. Does it make sense to send your kid to a predominantly white school knowing that there's it's a racial environment. It's a racially bigoted environment. You see, what kind of damage is your kid, receiving mentally? Not just physical damage, but mentally. When they're in this predominantly white school and they're being called all sorts of names on a daily basis, you see, and they're being attacked on a daily basis. What do y'all think we should do? Put in the comments. Should we continue sending our kids to these schools, or should we use common sense and remove your kids out of these environments? You see? So these kids are being attacked daily, on a daily basis at these schools, being called N-word, all sorts of racial derogatory terms, and when he defends himself, then the school acts. Then the school wants to charge your child and ruin his record, you see, potentially for the rest of his life. The kid got 4 felony charges. See what I'm saying? So now this kid is 14 years old with 4 felony charges, after the school did not act when it was supposed to. So yeah, I don't think it's justified that you send your kids to these schools. Take your kids out of these schools. Just because the school is non-segregated doesn't make it right. You see, separate your kids from these animals. Teach your kids at home.